I'm supposed to talk for like 10 minutes, so I'm going to make it very quick. We partner with BusinessDay on this program because for us, the heads of HR of different companies are very important to the employees in those companies. The angle we look at it from is pretty much that I think your employees are any firm's best asset, right? So regardless of what you have on your balance sheet, regardless of what products you come to the market with, without your employees, you can't really do anything. Yeah, that's true, right? So we agree that our employees are our biggest assets. And the heads of HR or the HR departments are the custodians of these assets. We don't agree? Okay, but I mean, I'm speaking from talking to people that work in HR generally. Every time that I talk to them, HR is a function in a bank. But a lot of times, I'm not sure if in many companies, they do many things for the employees, but they think about, say, the employees' well-being. You know, there are many things that are theoretical. So, you're trained how to be like an HR head. You have a lot of experience in HR. You know that if you put this initiative in place, this will work. But then, the speaker before, he talked about employee engagement. But in terms of engaging your employees, what do we really engage them on? In the end, we do the performance thing, talk about how you're faring at work. Do you get along with your line manager? But who really thinks about the things that bother your employees the most? Their financial stability. So if someone in a company, for instance, wakes up in the morning and his house is flooded, you will agree with me that at work on that day, the person is not working. I mean, they're there physically, but they're not there. I mean, for 60% of the time of that day, they're probably on the phone, trying to talk to someone, trying to sort something out. So there are many things that actually plague people that work with us, and we don't know how to address them. We don't even address them at all. I mean, on my team, once in a while, I say things like, who's investing and what are you guys investing in? But I can assure you that it's not a topic. We don't have a meeting to discuss this. It's something that I say on the side, right? But the truth is, if people come to work every day and they're thinking, most employees think they're badly paid. I think I'm badly paid. So almost everybody says they're badly paid. If you have any meeting we have, we talk about remuneration, right? It's always the hot topic, right? But the thing is, can you really pay anyone enough? That's the question. It's probably not possible. So how do we get our employees to get their money to work for them? Now that's added value without giving them more money. So what we are trying to say to heads of HR is that there's a way that you can partner with your employees to sort of make their lives better without actually costing your company more money. So, I mean, just yesterday I was talking to someone about, like a university approached us to talk to us about sponsoring people to do like executive courses abroad. Now, not every company has a bursary program in place, right? I think where there's a bursary program in place, not everyone qualifies for it. So, a bursary program is something that is put in place to say you're doing things for your employee, but it costs the company money. But there are ways that like a company can say, you can go and have whatever education you want, we'll give you the time, but you can fund it yourself. I mean, those are the kind of things, those are the kind of places that we come in to say, okay, now we can partner with you to sort of move your employees forward financially in different ways. The things that truly plague them. I think in everybody's life, I mean, in every individual's life, you have like an investment cycle, right? From when you're 21, or slightly more when you start work, to when you're 60 or 65 when you retire. Now, there are different things you should do with your finances at different times. There are different opportunities that you would have. Now, there are many things bankers talk to people about. So everyone is talking to you about, okay, you know what, if your employees want a personal loan, we can give you a personal loan at this rate, right? But it's a bit more than that. So it's not just giving you a loan. It's saying, is this a loan you can afford? One. Should you be borrowing two? So someone wants to buy a house and the question is, should you buy or should you rent? So who's asking these questions? Who's talking to your employees about things like this? And these are the things that they need to know about. I mean, from where I sit, right, and I've been doing this for years, you see many people living above their means. Nigerians generally live above their means because it's simple. I'm not sure we know how not to. And no one tells you you're living above your means, right? So you want to do something because everyone is doing this, so you think you should. But then someone needs to partner with you to say, maybe you shouldn't do this now. Maybe you should wait a bit. But then again, many people don't have access to information to understand what they should be doing and when. So everybody starts work, and people talk about the X generation, the Y generation. We did that last year. And everybody talked about them coming to work on day one, and everybody wants to live in Lekki. And then half of the world wants to live in Ikoyi. But the reality is, do you really have to do that? And can you really afford it? Now, it's about sitting down with someone to say, I want to take a mortgage at Lekki, and you say, you know, you can take a mortgage at Lekki, it's fine, but this is what it's going to cost you, and these are the things that will happen to you. If you take this, you will pay this. And also, even when you do take the loan, if you decide to take the loan, there are many ways to make that work for you. Because so you paid some of it in a year. There are ways that you can restructure this to sort of give you more liquidity. But the truth is, no one is having this conversation with your employees. And what we are trying to say to the heads of HR is say that these are the kind of conversations that I think that employees would appreciate. And in the end, I mean, the heading for today's program is organizational performance. And the truth is, if you get your employees to think about, if you take off things that burden them, they'll be more effective at work. So everybody talks about banking today. People leave the office and say, oh, I have to rush to my bank. I'm sure people say that. They say that to their bosses, and their bosses are climbing up the wall to say things like, oh, he's gone to the bank and he's been gone for hours. But the truth is, I mean, for us at Stanbic IBTC, what we want to say is that we have an initiative called Workplace Banking, where we bring banking to you. So your employees don't have to leave your premises, because it can actually be done on your premises. So the idea, okay, she's smiling, this is the catch, no, we haven't gotten to the catch. So, so the truth is, we have a clear employee strategy, employee proposition, workplace banking proposition at Stanbic, which is why a forum like this is very important to us. And when we partner with BusinessDay to do this, it's because in the past, right, in companies, people always want to know the CFO, right? So on the corporate side, the CFOs are pretty big. So the CFOs get calls from people in companies because, yes, you have to place this money with us. We don't want you to place it in another company. But we are saying that the heads of HR are, for us, the most important people in any company, because these are the people that sort of hold the employees and should do things for the employees, right, or make their lives even better. Now, the speaker before the previous speaker said something about how you can go to your CEO and say to your CEO, this is how much we've added to your bottom line. I think that is the very important thing, because usually everywhere in the world, companies are catching on to say HR is not so much about the softer things anymore. HR does do things that they do things that actually affect your bottom line. So if employees that are better engaged at work, right? Employees that are not spending 50% of their time making personal calls. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. The truth is, employees are spending 50% of their time making personal calls, whether we want to admit it or not. And we can't blame them. We live in Lagos, we live in Nigeria. You have to make personal calls. So it's one of those things that you can take away from them to keep them more focused at work. It's their financial stability. And I think that it's something that heads of HR should think about. And of course, Stanbic is available to partner with you to move your employees forward. Thank you.